Hello, trading is closed on November 5th, 2020. Start with our disclaimer as we normally do. It's my plan for tomorrow, Friday, November 6th. No guarantee I'm right. Trade at your own risk. MEJT.trades@gmail.com if you need to contact me. I'm still getting people posting replies on my channel saying how they know a guy who helped them septuple their money in a short period of time. I'm deleting these as fast as I can, but just a word, there ain't no such animal. People don't really have success like that in real life, and if they did, I would subscribe myself, which I'm not going to do. Okay, look for the pattern with the early low. This is it. Normally it's a rally day with a final hour high. When this doesn't go to a new high of the day, it's a negative pattern. So either we gap and promptly take out today's high, or lower prices print. We also have the target 34.69.61 that printed. We get to cross one more target off the list, 34.92.20 from October 19th. Support under the target. We still have too many lower targets from 2020. It's a lot fewer than we used to have, but at some point, not necessarily anytime soon, those lower prices should print. This is the pattern with the early low, as we said, and tomorrow's pattern also has the early low. Had a few calls from the system. This drop, it said, was falsely retraced. This rally, it said, was falsely retraced. That all worked out. Well, this is the weekly chart, and this X is close enough to count. We're in par number 13 of a DeMark combo sell in green. This is bar 13, and sequential sell in blue on the weekly chart. Now these don't work often enough for me. They don't work often enough as they used to. But if they work, if this works on the weekly chart, it should lead to a very sizable drop, not necessarily starting tomorrow, but starting pretty soon. So I'm not saying it's going to work, but if it works, could lead to much lower prices. This was a chart we've shown before, and this blue line is our resistance area. We did penetrate it, but couldn't close over it. So we've rallied back up in a straight line to resistance. And usually the rule is when you go up in a straight line to resistance like this, either you gap over that resistance or the resistance wins. So because of that, and because of the failure of this pattern to hit new highs near the close, if you're a bull, you really want to see a gap over these highs tomorrow. Because if you don't, you could see much lower prices. Now I know futures are down about 15 handles as I'm recording this. It isn't a guarantee we're going to open that way, especially when, after the Fed announcement, the first move was up. That usually telegraphs the next major move in stocks. And usually there's a three-leg whipsaw where you go up, which has happened, down, which has happened, and then you go up again. So it isn't as if all the news is bad news. But we do have a number of sell signals here. We do have a very strong rally in a straight line to resistance. And for the rally to keep going, you really want to see a gap over today's high. And if you don't, I think you'll see lower prices. It's not a guarantee that you'll close lower, but this certainly has enough so that if you do start dropping, if that happens, could be a very sizable drop and could be very quick too. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low, doesn't mean you won't gap up. Today's normally positive pattern. Did not close near its high, it's negative. Unless invalidated by gapping and promptly overtaking today's high. That should result in lower prices being seen tomorrow. Normally prices have wild swings after the announcement from the FOMC. Didn't happen. The first move after that usually telegraphs the next big move, and that was higher. But we did stall a trend line resistance. We do have a negative daily pattern, which is invalidated if this high falls early. And we've come really pretty far, pretty fast. I think just a week ago we were in the low 3200s, and today we hit the low 3500s. That's a pretty fast move to stall right at resistance. So I would be cautious here if you're long. It isn't a guaranteed sell signal, but if we do start dropping, we could have a pretty quick reversal of this last move up. And even though it isn't as clear a sell signal as I'd like, it's enough so that a big drop should be believed. So tomorrow has the early low. For the rally to continue, you have to clear this high. And if we start dropping, it could be a pretty fast, furious drop. And that's today's call.